Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fall 2009 Commencement Ceremony. At this time, we'd ask that you please stand for the presentation of colors by the ROTC Color Guard.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem by the a cappellas.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Nancy Bailey, Associate Vice President of Student Affairs, and it is my privilege to welcome you to the Fall 2009 graduation ceremony for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach. Just a few reminders before we begin. Please observe the policy prohibiting the use of air horns and other noise-making devices. This will ensure that everyone can hear the names of the graduates as they are announced, as well as respect the health and safety of our audience members. We ask that you please stay seated during the ceremony so that everyone has an unobstructed view, and that you take a moment now to turn off all cell phones and pagers. Thank you. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our stage guests for this morning. Please hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. As I call your name on the platform, please stand and remain standing until all stage guests are introduced. Starting in the back on your left, the Reverend Maylin Rust, Campus Chaplain, Dr. William Grams, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Tim Brady, Dean of the College of Aviation, Dr. Daniel Petrie, Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Maj Mirmarani, Dean of the College of Engineering, Ms. Corinne Borsman, Senior Class President, Congressman John Mica, Mr. Maury Husseini, Member of the Board of Trustees, Dr. John Johnson, President, Dr. Richard Heist, Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. James Cunningham, Macebearer, Associate Vice President for Academics. Please join me in demonstrating our appreciation for our distinguished guests. If you would like to join in prayer, please stand as Chaplain Rust offers the invocation.
Let us pray. Wise and gracious one, we ask your blessings upon the students, the faculty, and the staff of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. You have called us to the high task of seeking knowledge, promoting ethics, and seeking growth in body, mind, and spirit. We thank you for the gifts of this class of 2009 and the ways they have made this university a better place for having been here. We ask that you grant the students and their families joy and satisfaction as they see their dreams of graduation come true this day. We ask all these things in the confidence of your grace. Amen.
Please be seated. And now it is my privilege to introduce Dr. Richard Heist, Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach.
Good morning, everyone. It's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, Daytona Beach's Fall 2009 Commencement Ceremony. It's with great pleasure that I extend a welcome to the families and the friends of our soon-to-be graduates, to our community friends, all of our distinguished guests, and I welcome you to the most important and I expect the most anticipated event of our academic calendar, graduation. We are pleased to have Miss Sue Caldwell to sign the ceremony for the benefit of the hearing impaired, and Mr. Michael Rossellino to serve as our reader. Thank you, Sue, and thank you, Michael. A special thanks goes to the Melbourne Municipal Band for providing the music today, and to the Embry-Riddle ACA Fellows for their presentation of our national anthem, and later, our alma mater. We wish to recognize several groups of individuals who play key roles in the successful operation of this great university and who contribute to the success of today's ceremony. That first group includes the Board of Trustees, our Board of Visitors, and the officers of the university. The second group includes those individuals who have played a major role in preparing and mentoring our graduating seniors and our master's degree candidates for their future careers. I refer to the Embry-Riddle faculty. And the final group deserving of special recognition includes all of our dedicated staff, without whose many hours of tireless work this ceremony would not be possible. And I particularly appreciate the tireless efforts of Ms. Colleen Vickery and Ms. Angela Primavero in organizing and planning this entire event. I ask all of these folks to please stand and be recognized now. Thank you. Perhaps the most honored guests here with us today are the families of our graduates. Their love and their support made this day possible. Graduating seniors and master's degree candidates, I ask you to please stand and acknowledge your families for their support. Please be seated. And now to the business at hand. Mr. Mori Husseini, member of our Board of Trustees, will you please come forward and officially open our commencement ceremony?
Good morning. Oh, God. Parents, family, good morning. Oh, that's much better, much, much better. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, it is my pleasure to declare the commencement ceremonies of the Embry-Riddle Fall Commencement open. At this time, I am pleased to welcome Dr. John P. Johnson, the 5th president of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. And I would like to add a few remarks of my own before they cut my microphone. They did cut my microphone, can you believe that? Let me just say that I have worked with all the university's presidents, beginning with my early days as a student at Embry-Riddle. I was sitting right there. I can honestly tell you that Dr. John Johnson is one of the best, if not the best leader this community and this university have ever had. With that, I would like to ask that you all please give Dr. John Johnson, President of Embry-Riddle, our President, a roaring round of applause as I welcome him to the podium.
Thank you, Mr. Hosseini. That was not in the script, sir, but I very much appreciate it. Good morning to all of you. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all of our students and our faculty and our friends, all the friends of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, and certainly and most especially to the fall class of 2009. My sincere congratulations to each of you and to your parents and all of the families as well. All of us at Embry-Riddle are proud of your achievements and very confident of your success. I'm honored to introduce our guest speaker for today's commencement ceremony, Congressman John L. Mica. Congressman Mica is currently serving his 9th term representing Florida's 7th Congressional District. By the way, that district stretches from the suburbs of Orlando all the way up through Jacksonville. In the 111th Congress, Representative Micah was selected by his peers in the House of Representatives to serve a second term as the Republican leader of Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. As the Republican ranking member of the largest committee in Congress, Congressman Micah helps develop and oversee federal policy relating to aviation, highways, transit, rail, pipelines, Coast Guard, maritime transportation, water resources, economic development, public buildings, and emergency management. Phew, what a job. Congressman Micah is a senior member of the House Government Reform and Oversight Committee. On that panel, he served as chairman of the Civil Service Subcommittee and also chaired the Criminal Justice and Drug Policy Subcommittee. As the Transportation Committee's top Republican, Micah has called for the development of a comprehensive and national strategic transportation plan and expediting the process for approving federal infrastructure projects. These issues remain high priorities for Congressman Micah as the committee works to adopt multi-year, multi-billion-dollar reauthorizations of federal aviation and surface transportation, water resources, and Coast Guard programs. Congressman Micah is a longtime champion of both aviation and mass transit. In 2003, the congressman successfully passed the last and current FAA reauthorization. In 2008, he authored the nation's first law authorizing high-speed rail. In 2001, as the chairman of the Aviation Subcommittee, Congressman Micah is credited with bringing America's devastated aviation industry back from the brink of disaster after the 9/11 terrorist attack on our nation. As a national leader in transportation, Representative Micah's efforts and vision in this field have gained him recognition by numerous national aviation, transportation, and infrastructure organizations. As a strong advocate of our veterans, Congressman Micah has received national awards from nearly every major veterans association. He has been awarded honorary doctoral degrees from 3 Florida universities. The congressman is a former successful businessman and a graduate of the University of Florida. He served as a Chief of Staff of the United States Senate and was a former member of the Florida House of Representatives. Congressman Micah and his wife Pat have resided in Central Florida, the Winter Park area, since their marriage in 1972. On a personal note, I would like to extend Embry-Riddle's friendship and his friendship to us, as he has authored and supported legislation that has provided extensive funding for the development of research projects at Embry-Riddle, including the Next Generation Technology Project designed to improve the safety of our skies and the security of our airports, the research involving unmanned aerial vehicles, and the commercialization of space transportation. Mr. Micah, we certainly appreciate all that you've done for us in that regard. Please join me in welcoming Congressman John Micah as our honored guest speaker today.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Congratulations, first of all, to the Embry-Riddle class of fall 2009. Dr. Johnson, Trustee Hussaini, distinguished platform guests, faculty members, family and friends, and most importantly, our 2009 graduates. Let me tell you what a great honor and privilege it is to be here today, and also actually to be at a private university commencement occasion, somewhat politically incorrect, starting out with a prayer, but very often I get to address commencements in the public sector, and I find that as a missing element. But in the prayer that was offered, I heard just a few minutes ago, it was said that today is a day that you've dreamt about, graduates, and certainly today is a day that has been in your dreams and has been in your visions. And the other thing I want to tell you to start out with, I've been in politics and represented Embry-Riddle for 17 years, been in politics and government a long time. And graduates, I know something that you know too, and that's that I'm the only thing standing between you and your diploma, so this will be a rather short address. I was pleased also to see the way that the university took special recognition of the families out here. All of those who helped these individuals who will receive their degrees in a few minutes. The sacrifices that you made. It isn't inexpensive to attend Embry-Riddle University. It is expensive, and it takes dedication, it takes sacrifice, and it takes commitment. So again, I join in thanking the family that are here. Then I had a few minutes before this ceremony began to meet some of the faculty. There probably isn't a more distinguished faculty in aviation than the folks that have brought you to this day. I want to pay particular thanks to your dedication, to the experience, the knowledge that you bring to these students as they begin their journey in life. So just a moment to say thank you to the faculty. And they are among the most distinguished in the world. In fact, let me tell you this. I've traveled from one end of the earth to the other, not only in business and personal life, but as an elected official. I can say without exception that whenever you mention or hear the name Embry-Riddle, there's nothing but a positive response. This university is known throughout the world for its excellence. It's known for its faculty and for its graduates. And any time you have a diploma from Embry-Riddle, you stand shoulder to shoulder with the most experienced, most knowledgeable, most trusted individuals in the aviation industry. So I am just deeply honored to be here and to be among you in a few minutes to receive, along with the graduates here, I'll receive an honorary doctorate. And I want to tell you how much that means to me to have my name identified with this great university and this great graduating class. Today, as you receive your degree, you've ended one phase of your learning. It's interesting that the times that we live in, there is such an accumulation of knowledge. And you have to think that so few years ago, there are terms that we use in our life today, things that we take for granted, technologies, faxes, microwave. I was in the cell phone business back in the 80s, and a cell phone was the size of a brick. Just a few years ago, no one heard of the term BlackBerry, Twitter, Facebook. Look how quickly new technologies become available in our lives. So the one point I want to make is you've been learning here at Embry-Riddle, but you're just about to begin a new learning era in your life because of the world that we live in. You're in a new era, and that era and this class is going to be very unique because you're going to see things relating to technology, to technological improvements that people only talk about today. You've heard next generation air traffic control. This class will see a satellite-based aviation navigation system in use. This class will see commercial space travel. This class, some of you will fly planes and not be on the planes. Some of you will help in flying aircraft and not be in those aircraft. You'll be piloting from the ground. In fact, there may be at some point in your life commercial passenger aircraft, again, almost pilotless. You will see things that you can't even begin to imagine in the years ahead. But the one thing that you will need to do is continue your educational pursuit. You finish one part of it, the next part of it is just around the corner. Now, this faculty and this university have given you and prepared you for that life and those challenges ahead. They've done all they can do. You've had access to, again, to some of the best minds in the world relating to aviation. The rest is really up to you. I like to leave graduation classes with a little bit of a challenge. You know, people are successful, some people are successful, and some people are not successful. The recipe for success is pretty simple, I found over the years. Some of it is individual perseverance. When I left college, I worked for the first job I had. I worked for a very tough taskmaster. I really didn't like the guy, but in looking back on my career, he was probably one of the best teachers I ever had, and actually provided me with experience and direction that I needed. And he was the head of a national fraternal association, and I remember him giving these speeches. He's since passed away. But he left me with the importance of the individual, the importance of perseverance, and that if you really want to do something in your life and make your life something, that you had to follow 10 two-letter words. 10 two-letter words. His little motto and his little advice to me and former graduating classes and groups with his 10 two-little words were this: if it is to be, it is up to me. If it is to be, it is up to me. So you've been given unparalleled opportunity in your life to this date and to this occasion. In a few minutes you'll get a degree and you can go in any direction. You can be successful, you can be unsuccessful. But if it is to be, it's up to you individually. I wanted to leave you with those words, extend again my sincere congratulations to the family, all those who worked and sacrificed to make this day possible, and wish you the very best. You are coming from the best, and you have the best opportunity. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, Congressman Micah, for your thoughtful words, your challenging vision, and sound advice for our graduates, and indeed for all of us. Please remain here at the podium for a special presentation. Mr. Hosseini, would you join us at the podium, please? Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University recognizes individuals who have distinguished themselves through their professional accomplishments, national or international stature, and exceptional contributions to society. So we are particularly pleased today to honor one such individual. In recognition of your many years of dedicated and distinguished service to our country and to the state of Florida, as a member of Congress representing Florida's 7th Congressional District, the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the entire Embry-Riddle family are proud to award to you, sir, the Honorable John L. Micah, the degree of Doctor of Law, honoris causa. Now, if we'll step right out here. Congressman Micah, Dr. Micah, we thank you, sir, for all you've done for Embry-Riddle, for the United States of America, and for the state of Florida. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Congressman Micah. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of the senior class, Ms. Corinne Borsman.
Hi, guys. As we approach the final weeks leading up to this day, it was only natural to stop and think, when I leave here, what will I miss the most about Embry-Riddle? Now for me, I don't just stop and think, I instinctively start creating lists, and I weigh the pros and cons. This was something that was especially helpful to me during my freshman year. Do I spend one more hour in my extremely comfortable dorm bed or attend my 9 a.m. lab class? Dorm beds were comfortable back then, especially at that hour. So as I sat down to create this list, I realized that there are several things that I definitely won't miss about Embry-Riddle. DB Communications emails. The Riddle runaround, of course, especially this past month, right? Playing chicken with the crazy squirrels in the middle of the sidewalk. And the Riddle ratio, and hearing about it constantly from my peers. Gentlemen, you are finally free of it. And then parking, especially when you're walking out to the parking lot and you see a student with their keys in their hand, and you think, yes, I have a spot, and they're only just grabbing a textbook. It's really the worst. So then I began thinking about what I would miss, and that is the feeling of being home. Embry-Riddle is home to all of us graduating here today. You know that saying, home is where the heart is? Well, scattered across this campus are fragments of our hearts. It happened when we weren't even aware. At some point, we joined a student organization. We first flew a plane or built a working engine, all of which our hearts went into. In the corners of the buildings and the dorms, we leave the whispers of newfound friendships, first loves being discovered, lessons being learned, and adults being made. It happened to all of us. We have lived, learned, and played here together. So graduates, let me hear you if you were in a student organization. And how about any student employees? There were a lot of us this year, I think. Any athletes? And how about the Greeks, guys? And the members of ROTC? If you graduates, the ROTC members, could please stand for a moment. Really? These graduates deserve special recognition today because they're going to go on and risk their lives so each of us can pursue our postgraduate dreams. Thank you, guys. By your shouts and cheers, you see it's true. You feel the heartstrings pulling, and they always will. If you look at any alumni return to campus, you see a face, an expression on them that is filled with nostalgia. They pause at a dorm room window they once had to climb through when they lost their key. They consider a certain bench that they used to sleep on in between classes. They look at Chick-fil-A and they think, where was that when I was stuck eating in the student village? They pause and they see the pieces of their heart that still remain. They look at the buildings that came after they left, and although it feels unfamiliar, they realize that they are still a part of it, as we will be. When we return 5, 10, or 20 years from now, and we see Alphabet Soup gone and a new modernized building standing in its place, we may think that although this place doesn't look like home, it still has its Embry-Riddle heartbeat. And Embry-Riddle lies within each of us. It's not the buildings or the grounds. We are Embry-Riddle. Each addition, each success that happens beyond this day was built upon our shoulders and upon our successes. And we do not leave here with a mediocre degree. We part with a ticket aboard a supersonic jet bound for success, and of course, we're sitting first class. We have walked among the leaders of aviation. Our professors have written the textbooks. They have flown the planes, they've built the engines, they've tracked the storms, and they've managed the airlines. And soon, so will we. It's the student organizations, the dedicated alumni, the inspiring faculty that assure us we're all going to be okay. We're entering real life in a pretty scary time. Jobs are scarce, money is tight, and people are feeling discouraged. But not us. I have learned that when I follow my heart, I'll never go wrong. It has helped me make some of the best decisions in my life. And if each of us follow our hearts into whatever postgraduate life may bring, it will bring us back home, it will bring us back to Riddle, and it will bring us to success. So, to the dear caretaker of our hearts, Embry-Riddle, we have no more money left to give. But we will leave behind something far more precious. Our loyalty, our passion, and our hearts. Thank you.